Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Let me see. Theoretically, now it's officially streaming. Even though I think the recorded version, after people have watched it streaming, will be different. Because we're using the YouTube live encoder tool today rather than the Wirecast tool. Someone said, stream down. No, it's not down. But I think I did it right. Yeah, it says the live control room is working, winning, good stream health. That's a good thing. 41-second broadcast. And according to my page, we have comments live. But here's the thing. So the advertisement got inserted at the beginning of the live stream. Sorry, guys. We're doing all this stuff that was really behind-the-scenes stuff rather than like live broadcast stuff. I think people are seeing an ad that they can't skip for 15 seconds at the beginning of the broadcast. I think it's like a 15-second or so. Is that what happens, guys? Leave a comment. Is that really what happens at the beginning of the live stream? The ad starts playing? I don't know. They really don't give you a lot of information with YouTube Live right now. It's kind of all of a sudden I see bad stream health. Now it's good stream health again. Wasn't I just saying that YouTube's not really giving you enough information? They gave you, right, the information that it looks normal to you? Okay, what happens if you press insert advertisement? Try that. Press the insert advertisement button. Did you? I didn't see any change. Nothing happened. Did anything happen on your end? Nothing really happened on my end. We're kind of experimenting, guys. So thanks for bearing with us.
Contraband ad.
Someone got an ad? There's a non-interruptible ad. No ad here. Weird. We have an ad. Someone has an ad. I didn't get an ad. I wish they'd just give me more information because I can't control the experience very well. I don't know which end is up, which way is right. By the way, if you're watching an ad, I'm sorry. Kind of seeing if it worked. And I guess for some of you it did. We uploaded a Pirillo, which is a vlog done by Pirillo. Pirillo. The log of Chris Pirillo. It's kind of disgusting if you think about it. Played around with a couple of nicknames for it, though. We thought about geek vlogging, and I'm like, no, vlog geeking, just too much of a hassle. I thought, well, my last name, Pirillo, log, Pirillo, and it worked. And so we had almost 300 likes to the first Pirillo, even though I've been vlogging for years, okay? I've been recording videos of my life for so long, but never really put a finer point on it up until now-ish. The Pirillo, according to the likes, is going to be here to stay. We're going to be doing a different Pirillo every day. Are we doing one every day?
Yeah.
Even weekends? Like, every day? Or every weekday?
What do you think?
I think it's up to you. Diana is the editor. That's why it's up to you. Many people didn't know that. That was Diana's first... That first Pirillo was also... It's kind of funny to say it right now, but eventually the word will, kind of grow on me like a fungus. That was Diana's first job at video editing. She did that. She did the whole thing with just a bit of guidance. She used iMovie.
That was the very first time I opened iMovie.
First time she ever opened iMovie. So it's kind of insane.
Yeah.
So I guess we're going to be doing a vlog every day. And when we do that vlog, it'll be uploaded to the Locker Gnome YouTube channel because Locker Gnome is kind of this universe of me. Yeah, but will that change what we do with TLDR and the other stuff? Kind of. I think we're going to have to change the production of the way we do live video on YouTube. It's still going to be TLDR. We're still going to be covering the topics that we cover on lockergnome.com every day, 3 p.m. Pacific. No need to change anything there. But I don't know if we're going to be doing individual clips from this long live video. If only because we got 300 likes on that vlog where I talked about nothing. And we put all this work into, let's do something important. And no one, crickets. Fweet, 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 That's my version of a cricket, by the fweet, 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 fweet. All right, so let's go ahead and tell the people on Facebook, all of them, especially those who have decided to like me publicly, that this is not a vlog. This is not a vlog. I'm streaming live. You love vlogs? Diana loves vlogs. She peer pressured me into this. We almost have 79,000 people subscribed there on Facebook. This is not a vlog. There we go. I'm going to tweet that out. And I'm also going to like this live video and +1 it so that people on Google+, all 1.1 million following me, knows that no, this is not a vlog. But it's live. This was live. All the experimentation with the ads, not knowing if they were playing or not. It's gonna create some awkward conversation in the insertion of advertisements through the broadcast. I don't know. Thank you for bearing with us this live discussion. Thank you everybody for joining me. Cyber Tourniquet, Christian Tackett, C Condon, NY23, Right Noob, Carl Conyers. We also have other people here in the chat room, and granted, this is all the people who are registered on gnomies.com. JR89, Chris Smith, Team Wardo as well. I'm trying to keep them on topic. Or I'm trying to, even though there's not a topic yet. Chris Jose, Mohammed's Eye Tips. And by the way, after the live broadcast today, TLDR, we're going to be jumping over to live.pirillo.com immediately after. And we're going to have a conversation about what kind of service or site we can all put together. So that conversation is going to be happening in real time at live.pirillo.com. The conversation will continue. Did I miss anybody here? Oh, Scottish Tech Kid 98, Bentar, and Kevin, who is apparently mobile. And then to those of you on YouTube, Robert Wildman, the Antique Tractor. We also have Cameron Dryan 1, Techno Guy 4, Mason 54X, Inbalance by Design, Man of Technology, Zach VA. We also have V8 Boy. V8 Boy? That's one hell of a handle, I guess. Kyle 4K9. And the rest of you who are watching live on YouTube. Thank you for the subscribes, the likes, the tweets, the retweets, the shares, the whatnots. So today, now that we're past some of that administrivia, we're going to be covering a few topics. As we posted on lockergnome.com, all the links are in this video's description. You don't have to look too far, including learning about the 5 cool features of the Kindle Touch. I do not have a Kindle Touch, although if I had to get a Kindle, someone had a gun to my head, get a Kindle, I would probably get the Kindle Touch, because it's pretty nice to touch the screen on the Kindle. Although I'm waiting for the e-ink technology to advance to color screens. And they have color screens. It's not amazing color like with saturation, but it works really well with e-ink displays. I've seen demo videos on YouTube. And then we're going to dive into Android Development Series Part 2, keeping your apps compatible. Some important points there. Windows 8 versus Windows 8 RT. Or I guess Windows RT. RT. 8 or RT? What do you think, hon? Which one would you go with? You don't know. You didn't read the article. You just said 8 because it sounds better. Then we're going to talk about who's to blame when scamming is so easy. Checking a domain against the Spamhaus DBL in PHP. That's kind of geeky. And then, of course, we're going to wind up talking about OSs. Again, which OS is best? That is a trick question. And then the backlink of the day. Just mention it right now. Thebrickfan.com. Thebrickfan.com. He linked back to us. An article on lockergnome.com. So for that, we gave him backlink of the day. It's easy. So now he gets his link promoted because he promoted one of our links. It's kind of reciprocal how we handle that in the Lockergnome universe. I'm wearing a very tight T-shirt by now. It's tight. I don't like tight clothing. I like loose clothing. Hides the fact that I'm kind of chunky. I'm working on it. I'm chunky. I admit it. I don't like it. I'm chunky. You're delusional. I'm delusional? I know some people look at me, you're not chunky. I am. The lunch I had today probably didn't help any. You can watch what kind of lunch I had today in tomorrow's Pirillo.
I still don't know yet.
Yeah, Diana doesn't know. She's going to be upset when she sees that video that I recorded. She's going to cry. And you get a video of you crying. I think people they'd like that, wouldn't they?
They'll like that.
They'll like that to see you cry. All right, let's go into the first video here. There's nothing really to record separately, so take a look at the link in the description. Read along with me if you would like. It's a good time to do it. 5 cool features of the Kindle Touch. Now, if you've not picked up a Kindle yet, the advantages of Kindles, say over a tablet computer, are pretty obvious. It's got a different screen, e-ink as the display, the driving display. It's actually better in many ways if you do a lot of reading. That's what these types of tablets were designed for. Yes, there are certain applications for the Kindle which allow you to play games like Sudoku and crosswords and whatnot, but those aren't, let's say, suitable or as suitable for a platform that has a primary screen being e-ink. A device that's fully charged could last for weeks without recharging. The contrast tends to get better the more light that is around you. Like in sunlight, you can actually see the text on the screen. But in terms of where a Kindle Touch can jump ahead of, I guess, the competition, is that you can touch the screen. And yes, there are other touchscreen devices, but it's one of those things where at least Matt, the person who was talking about it here in the article, he mentions X-ray. He says not every book has an index. Not every book has an index, but for anyone interested in learning more about a specific item, place, or person in a piece of literature, X-ray has to be the best feature yet. When you see a proper noun used in the book, such as a character's name, you can find out exactly when and where that noun is used throughout the book. And that's nice. I could have used something like that when I was in college, referring to materials, going back and forth, trying to figure out where. I remember, a word was used, where was it used, and then being able to flip, between the uses of the word. I think that's the primary advantage of going with electronic text versus traditional text or books. Of course, then there's an array of free books. If you guys aren't subscribed to the If This Then That channel, you can go over ifttt.com and set it up so that when Amazon publishes a new free ebook, you can be notified by email, and so you can get tons of free books. Yes, you don't have to pay anything. I found a few books. Usually the ones I go for are more the information-driven books rather than those that you would read for entertainment. Touchscreen kind of goes without saying. There's also text-to-speech features. And, for those of you who are having, issues reading, you don't want to read, and you want to have it read to you, you can use text-to-speech. Not perfect, really. But this is, of all the Kindles, of all the e-ink ebook readers out there, the one, if I had to spend money on something today, I would probably get the Kindle Touch. Having used it, I would have no problems recommending it at all. Don't compare one of those ebook readers, like a Kindle Touch, to, say, like a Kindle Fire, which is more of a tablet computer. They're two completely completely different classes of devices, really designed for two different types of users. And you can have both, and that's okay. You can even have an iPad and a Kindle Touch. I won't tell anybody. Yeah, that's I think that's a big deal. Did you do something? What'd you do?
Insert.
Oh, Diana inserted an ad. Okay, so now we got. Does it give you a time?
I think it's done.
You think it's done?
Yeah.
That was a fast ad.
Short and simple.
I don't know. It just doesn't say. How many? Now everyone's getting mad at us. Oh!
Blame me.
We're used to pressing buttons around here. Sorry about that. And boy, you guys get so testy. Is it done? Is it done? Is it done?
It should be.
I can't. That's the problem with inserting the ads. We have no idea if they're done. It doesn't say.
Because the button...
We're totally we're babes in the woods. We're kind of feeling our way around.
No, we push it again.
What?
Just kidding.
We're just kind of feeling around with this. Let's see here.
How long was
Now everyone's commenting. I got one. I didn't get one. You get them. You collect them. You trade them with your friends. They're valuable. Android development series, keeping your apps compatible. This is something that compatibility is a big deal. So I'm going to talk about Android here. Just, bear with me. And I know many of you, love talking about Android. I think for me, what's been difficult to, wrap my head around with Android is the fact that there are so many different devices, which is its strength, right? You have a lot of choice. But let's say one Android device has a screen this big, and another Android device has a screen this big. The apps that are developed aren't always developed with, cross-screen compatibility in mind. It's getting better as Android continues to advance. Ice Cream Sandwich certainly went a long way for better compatibility. But, I got to ask a question. This was really going out to all of you Android tablet users, and I know there's some of them out there. How many times have you seen an app that was so blatantly optimized for a different sized screen? How has that frustrated you? I know that for me, granted, I largely use iOS devices. When an app is optimized for this size screen, I'm happy with it. But then when I've got to use an app that's optimized for this screen on a larger screen, like an iPad, it just looks kind of junky, really, because it just wasn't optimized. So do you guys, in terms of the apps that you get, do you find apps or do your best to find apps that are optimized for the screen that you're using? To tell you the truth, I don't think many people quite understand what the difference is between a large screen, a small screen. They just want to use the application. They don't necessarily think, has it been optimized? So you can talk about having 100,000 apps in your app store. If they're not providing really clean experiences for their users, are they really worth talking about? Now, Pearplane777 says it's so frustrating. Chris, okay, but what about Android on PC, says Perdohe. In terms of development, and this is the reason why we published the article on Locker Gnome there, Android on the PC is a good idea because you can have, let's say, a widget floating around, but then again, what's the use of having a widget for Android on a desktop where widgets could run natively without Android? It doesn't make much sense in that way. But I don't know about running the Android operating system on a traditional PC construct, if only because Android was optimized for touch experiences, and PCs have keyboards and mice and other input devices. The app experience, from my perspective, it must be optimal for the device that you're using and the apps that you're using on that device. And keep that in mind. When you're browsing for apps, the app that you're using may not be optimized for the screen that you're using it on, especially if there's so many screens out there, big screens, small screens. Android's great because you could run it on a variety of devices, but that's also one of its shortcomings because those apps that are out there may not be optimized. I've seen very few apps, other than games, that were optimized for larger Android screens. Google, as Bambino Stowe notes, could learn a lot from people in Microsoft when it comes to mobile OS. So, hang on. I think we fleshed that out. Every Android developer needs to follow the guidelines by Google for design. Thank you, Fazal. That way the apps can be compared fairly to other platforms. Indeed. There we go. That's all we have to say about Android. And that wasn't a bad thing. Really? Could you dislike that? Who could dislike us talking about... Did you press the add button again? I got an ad.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I finally got an... I got one!
How long is it?
It says it's about 15 seconds long, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
5, 4, 3... I don't know if these ads are actually going to play when... did you press the green bar again? Everyone's raging now. I'm not in control, okay? I've got super white arms, too. Holy cow. That's crazy. See, it's crazy. Don't talk yet. So now you're going to press a button. I'm going to have to shut up for 10 seconds. What if the ads don't play after it's recorded? People won't know. Will they tune in for the rest of the conversation, or will they tune out? We have no idea. We don't know how this is going to work yet. Green bar looks nice. Photoshop or built into the YouTube app? Built into the YouTube app, PC509. Sorry. Please remove Diana away from the controls. I can't. She is so adventurous. She's feeling... I find it funny despite all the ads. There are very few dislikes. Yes! It is kind of funny. Thank you for liking the video. I appreciate that. We do. You know what they're saying? More! No, kidding. Step away from the controls. It's a good thing. If you like the content we do, that's, the monetization. I'd be curious. It's kind of like being on TV, right? Only it's a quick commercial break versus, having to... What? What are you laughing at?
I'm Creighton and I are texting.
Oh, Creighton and... What are you... Are you sexting?
Maybe. This is the funniest TLDR ever.
It's the funniest? Because we're running ads? I don't know. There's an ad that has a guy that looks like you? That says cute donkey. Okay. I had nothing to do with it, I swear. Chris is overdriving again, popping every time he says something. I wonder if it's because I know why. I wish I would have known that I was overdriving. Hang on. I know why. I wish I would have known that I was overdriving. Hang on. Sorry, I had to listen to myself for a second. So there's a volume... We're trying something new, guys. There's a volume control for the YouTube live video. Can you just adjust that slider down just a tad? Don't you love, watching live videos, live video production? It's the two of us, husband and wife. Did you get it down a little bit?
A little bit.
Is it, Matt, is that a little better? I have no idea. You guys got to let me know this stuff. Oh, holy cow, I am... Whoa! What the hell happened to my... My mic's overdriving there. I'm looking at the volume control. Holy cow, that's loud. Why didn't somebody tell me that? Hang on just a second. Let me... Let's try to... Okay, how about that? That's better. That's got to be better. Problem was it was at a 0 decibel thing. And then I had to adjust it. Pay no... Don't you guys wish you were watching an ad right now? Aren't you glad? Oh, Dana says, hold on. She can fix that. Welcome to the wild... too quiet? It says it's too quiet. You may need to adjust the slider up. Adjust the slider up. Too quiet? I'm getting levels here. Did you adjust it up?
Yes.
Is that better now? Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Now I gotta wait. Oh wait, let me turn it up. Echo. 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 Oh, that's better. That's way better. Yeah. Okay, we can do that. See, I was playing play on the. Its sound is much worse? How could it be much worse? Give me a second. Okay, it's going to get loud here for... Oh, I'm going to have to do this.
Good now?
Is it good now?
Yeah, good now.
It's good now?
Good now.
Okay, I ain't screwing with nothing.
Don't move.
I'm not... The problem is the delay. Sound is fine. It's okay. Sound is fine. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. It's obviously screwed up for today, so I can't adjust anything at this moment in time. So let's go ahead and keep rolling through with the articles on LockerDome.com. Windows 8 versus Windows RT, and this one almost warrants a separate video. I tell you, we're not going to be able to do it because we don't have the console set up for it. The Wirecast for YouTube doesn't have a recording feature, so we won't have that. It's a separate one. Windows 8 versus Windows RT. So always a big concern for what. Yeah, looks like current Windows users wishing to keep their current system still enjoy the latest and greatest edition of the Windows. Upgrades enable the user to keep their system current without paying full price. Duh. It's a big deal. Windows RT can't exist as an upgrade because legacy software can't run on it. Any upgrade you perform would leave you pretty much in the same state as if you had done a fresh install in the first place. Well, that's interesting. So if you've got an existing computer, you would not be able to run Windows RT, which is one of the flavors that's coming around for the next version of Windows. So it's Windows RT, not Windows 8 RT. RT, by the way, was designed to run on devices that have the ARM architecture for CPU, not the classic x86 or 64 editions of Windows that we've kind of been used to, or hardware platforms. By the way, RT also stands for runtime. So Microsoft Office. Now, what's interesting about the way they're handling Microsoft Office now, it will run on a Windows 8 computer as well as a Windows RT computer. But in order to use the applications on Windows 8, you'll need to purchase the application separately or utilize the Office web apps versus Windows RT, which comes with a complete copy of Microsoft Office. You know, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote. Windows 8 and Windows 8 Pro don't. So Windows RT, if you want a Microsoft Office, may be a better way to go. You're not going to have, let's say, the fastest PC, but you may have the most feature-rich out of the box if, you know, something that trips your trigger is Microsoft. Encryption, it says, I'm just, again, looking at the article, you guys are going to be able to get the same information there. Windows 8 doesn't come with any built-in encryption capabilities. Windows 8 Pro does by the way of BitLocker, which you may have been used to, as well as BitLocker to go. Windows RT offers device-level encryption, which does essentially the same thing as BitLocker. You know, if you're not familiar with what it is or why it's important, you may not care about your data. Of course, most of the data that I have is like off in the cloud, so I have to worry about that more than I do worry about the data that's being stored on a local machine. In terms of legacy support, that should kind of go without saying. If you got a lot of old apps that you've been using for quite some time, you're going to want Windows 8, not Windows RT. That's really confusing. Why Windows RT? Okay, so Windows 8, Windows 8 Pro, Windows RT. Those are the three flavors of the new version of Windows. Why didn't they just call it Windows 8, Windows 8 Pro, Windows 8 RT? Why didn't they put an 8 into RT? That would have made more sense to me. To me, though, and that's just me. I'm not Microsoft. Storage and media, Matt also notes, says one of the more interesting features to be introduced in Windows 8 is storage spaces. The feature pools multiple physical disks together to form a larger virtual disk with extended capacity and redundancy, so your files remain safe, which is kind of nice. It's nice to have that built in to a computer. And I think if you're looking at a desktop machine or a laptop, you're probably going to be getting Windows 8. If you're looking at a tablet Windows computer, you're probably looking at Windows RT. In terms of flexibility, it really is a tie. Depends on what kind of user you are. So we outlined a few more differences in the article as we linked in the show notes, the description below. And Diana tells me, you guys, can you prove me right or her right? And I'll get to your questions here in just a second. Do you guys actually click the links in YouTube videos? She says she never does. She never looks at them. Do you?
Unless I really, really, really.
Unless you really what?
Really, really want to know.
Unless she really wants to know something. So, do you? I was going to put Windows 8 back on and was like, why I never use Metro on the desktop. Yeah, no doubt. Carl clicks. Muhammad's tips clicks. So many versions of Windows. Well, there's only 3 now. It's not so bad. Honestly, I only click on links that I find interesting. Indeed. Just a quick way to get to lockergnome.com. Indeed. Thank you.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm just from the comments on YouTube. Yeah, marketing fail. RT8 would have been way less confusing. It would have been. But Microsoft did not hire me. I wonder why. I'm wearing an Apple shirt. Well, it's not an official Apple shirt. Someone made it as a fanboy. Someone said I was right. That's a good thing. I don't know why I'm right. I do, says V8Boy53. I look at articles that sound interesting. So, do we need to create more articles that sound interesting? Whether or not they actually are? What's the trick on making articles sound interesting? Oh, someone clicks on annotations, not links. I use the newsletter. Okay, there you go. The Locker Gnome email newsletter. Sometimes. It's kind of half and half. So it seems that they click on articles that sound interesting, may not actually be interesting. By the way, speaking of, we have 91 likes, 168 people watching, which means about 70 of you need to press the like button. But you got to do it on the page, the YouTube page that has not the channel page. You won't find the like button there right now. You have to click over to the page. How do I explain this? The page, where a YouTube video usually sits, it usually has watch in the URL. That's where you go. You press the like, and we're good to go. But then it would make sense to you because there's the links that I could click on.
On track. Ad time.
What?
Ad time.
Oh, ad time. Oh, you didn't press an ad in there.
They're telling
We're making it random. Are we making it random? I just assume we're making. Okay, so is this an interesting title for you to click on? Who's to blame when scamming is so easy? The next article we had posted to lockergnome.com. Take a look. I'll wait for you to click. Maybe we should play an ad. Maybe that'll make them click the Locker Gnome articles. The Locker Gnome articles is what we want you to read, because we're not writing for our health, unless, of course, we're writing about health, in which case we're writing for our health. So, okay. What was funny there? I didn't even do anything.
They're like, no, I guess an ad.
Did you pull an ad?
You don't see it?
I don't see it. Is it done? Let me know when I can continue the show. I have no idea.
Not yet. You don't know what I'm doing.
No, I don't. I genuinely do not know what you're doing. Now, I wonder, am I talking over the ad? Or do people even hear if the ad is... I have no idea. I'm at your mercy here. She's having fun, folks. Keep going. Okay, that's what Carl says.
Why are they calling me Godfather?
I don't know why they don't Godfather. It's crazy. So, I wouldn't brag about that. I wouldn't brag. People who block ads they're overcompensating for... They get little, So, who's to blame when scamming is so easy? That's the question. I as someone who deals with technology and the problems therein, I have an experienced eye when I see something that's not quite right. Get an email. In fact, just over the weekend, I got 2 emails that it looked like they were legitimate emails from AT&T. I have an AT&T wireless account, and it was huge charges. I was like, what? And initially, I was like, oh my god! I'm like, how the hell did this happen? And I was getting ready to click the link, saying, what the hell? Hovered over it, and it was very obviously not AT&T. And so I knew not to click the link. But there are many people who do click those links and who do find themselves victim of phishing scams. Who do you blame in that? And I think it's very, it's a sad state of affairs when you know a lot about technology and you kind of look down upon those who don't. To me, it's beyond rude. You need to explain to people what to watch out for so that they don't fall victims to those things. It's not really their fault. Oh, it should have been. It's your fault because you should have hovered over the link. Well, how would they know that? How would they possibly even know that? And even if they're told that, how are they ever going to remember it? I almost clicked the link. Heaven forbid. I mean, if I could not hover over it to see where that link went, I would have clicked the link. So the idea behind blaming someone for something they don't know anything about is the wrong idea. And this is probably, if I had to be embarrassed for geek kind or nerd kind, it's the Sheldon type of people, really, that just look down upon everybody for what they don't know. And that's not fair. It's not right, and it's not fair. You're blaming the wrong person. And I say the same thing to developers, by the way. And I realize this particular article, Who's to Blame When Scamming is So Easy, linked in the description there, is really talking about, these larger scamming, ordeals. Someone clicks a link, gives them credentials, and just becomes a victim. Never blame the victim. Never blame the user. Never. And I've said that to developers too. Like, well, you're using it wrong. No, your software sucks. It's not intuitive. And developers hate hearing that. But I've run into so many hurdles looking at something going, wow, this is horrible. And I hear them blaming me. Well, you need to click there. I'm like, well, it wasn't very intuitive that I needed to click there. And a lot of software is released into the wild that's so beyond unusable. And I think we've all seen these things. Whether we're talking about apps or whether we're talking about, apps on a mobile device or apps on a desktop, services. When you do something because you find it intuitive, that's what someone else might be doing because they find it intuitive. And scams work because they fit into intuition. Oh, well, someone's going to click this link because they think They think their wireless bill was outrageous. Well, they click the link and they may look at a web page that looks exactly like the web page they use all the time, or maybe it looks different, but who knows? People upgrade websites all the time, new design. Why would you blame the user for that? The best we can do, instead of blaming the user, is teach them. The simple lesson is this. You get a link, comes in through email, social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Unless you know where that link is going and why, don't click it. Oh, the email may look like it's coming from your wireless provider. It may look like it. Most links you can hover over. In most email applications, you can hover over and you can look in the status bar and usually see, oh, it's going to www.something.com. And if that is it doesn't match where you expected it to go, don't go there. Don't go there. That's my recommendation, which I'm sure marketers are going to slap me around for because they use tracking links. Unless you know that newsletter is legit, that it comes in from a provider that you know, and those links you know you can trust, be careful what you click on. And I'm here to tell you, if you are an average user, not a super nerd when it comes to technology, no one should be blaming you for the problems that you run into. I think that's really what I wanted to convey, and I think a lot of geeks really got to get that through their thick skulls. Even though Cameron Dryan 1 says Chris should be the CEO of Microsoft, I don't think so. I don't make a good CEO. It's usually a no reply at randomname.com or websitename.com. That is true, but you never know. You can spoof emails really easy, and that's how people become victims to these scams. So, speaking of scams, short link. We've got if you use a short link, service like Bitly, we've got or maybe you have your own short link provider. I don't know why you would. There's no money in it. There's a way to check a domain against the Spamhaus DBL in PHP, and we provided the code on lockergnome.com. So, if you want to have your own short link service, here's a question for everybody. Just a quick poll in relation to this particular piece of code on LockerGnome. Want to ask everybody, do you guys use a short link provider? Do you guys make short links? I mean, we installed our own just for our own use. Go.tagjag.com. You'll hear me mention it over and over again. I don't really think about short links anymore much. And I guess if I needed to create it, I'd use, go.tagjag.com, my own needs, or possibly Bitly. But when was the last time you guys really shortened a link or needed to shorten a link? Owly, in conjunction with Hootsuite, they get pretty decent click-throughs as well. But there are just so many short link providers. Do you guys even think of that? Did you know you can make... Here's how you make a short link on YouTube, by the way. Here, I'm going to show you guys. Here's a little tip. So I'm on the YouTube live page. Can you see that? Okay, honey? Can you see? Well, there we go. So I'm on the YouTube live page. Here's how you... Okay, let me do this. So what you do is you go... Here's the equal sign and then the little ID there. You march backwards. And you type in B-E whack. Like that. And then... So you replace that all with that. That link. That is a short link that'll pop you off to that YouTube link. So YouTube / and whatever the ID is. So as soon as I hit enter, what'll happen is it'll redirect, and it'll even show in the slug feature YouTube. So it knows how many people actually shorten it by that. So if you want to shorten a YouTube link, again, all you do is cut that out, and you replace the BE all the way to the ID. .be right there, whack, or a slash, and everything after the ampersand. It's fluff. You don't need to use it. That's for trackability purposes on YouTube's end. But that's it. That's how you make a YouTube short link right there. Kind of neat, huh? Bam! All right, so now that I've taught you that little trick, you guys know that one? Is that new to you? Or is that Google? Yeah, Google's a good one. Who uses tiny? You really use tiny URL? Who uses? God, that's so 1997. Yikes. Ugh. All right. Google apparently is another popular one. Twitter short links scare me. They scare me as well. Oh, and thank you for saying bless you for the sneeze that randomly happened. Sorry about that. I had no idea where the hell it came from. A little tip there. Now, oh, sorry. That probably made everybody. How's the audio for you now? Everyone's ears are bleeding. Thanks, Chris. That's the last time I can listen to you. Let's talk about something that everybody seems to want to talk about every other day here in the channel. We've got an article on lockergnome.com titled, "Which OS is the best?" That is a trick question, and we all know it's a trick question. So look at the article, take a look, and the perspective that we're providing is as balanced as humanly possible. Everyone's going to have their choice. It's it's relativity time. Now, I'm going to do something that may be considered a bit dangerous, but I want to try to do more and more of it. What do you guys think about making recommendations for people? What recommendations do you make, when, and why? I've made recommendations, you would not believe it, for people to get Windows XP, a new PC with Windows XP. I've made recommendations that people go with Windows Phone 7 over iPhone. I've made recommendations based on what people need, what they can handle, what they want, how they live, really. And that's when we talk about which OS is best. Everyone's going to have their favorite. You're going to have it. You have to have a favorite, unless you just don't care. It could be anything. You don't care. My curiosity, though, is if, really, have you recommended something from Apple to somebody? Have you recommended an iPod, an iPhone, an iPad, Mac OS X? Have you ever found yourself recommending those operating systems, and why? I have, certainly. Back in the day when there weren't a lot of MP3 players around, the iPod was usable. It was really one of the most usable products on the market. And it's always seemingly stayed that way from that point on. When you have a situation where the person's saying, I don't have a big budget, I want to browse the web, I want to check email, and maybe watch some videos. I've made recommendations to, in the past, go with like a notebook PC, potentially, something they can carry around, or even an iPad. Now you could pretty much do the same thing with like a Kindle Fire. If they're just doing basic things, they don't need anything advanced. You want to give them a good experience, certainly. So you got to keep in mind, budget, that's a big one for a lot of people. What they're used to, what they want to do. And, if someone comes up to you and says, all I want to do is check email, browse the web, maybe watch some videos, you can recommend just about anything. You could. Name one modern platform that couldn't handle it. So then it comes down to budget. Well, does it matter how much you spend? No, I just want a good product. And I don't think anybody's going to say, I want the cheapest thing. Some people might. In which case, they're probably going to get what they pay for. I very rarely recommend cheap products. I might recommend affordable products or more affordable products, but cheap products fall apart. In my reputation, I don't want sullied. I don't want them thinking, well, I asked for a product recommendation and Chris told me to get this and it ended up being junk. That's not the type of recommendation engine I want to build for myself. I want to recommend good products that are going to work well, not just the time that you buy it, but into the future. So, I always consider what someone else is saying, and that's difficult to do, because I'll listen to what they're saying and do my best to kind of, my logical mind is trying to like make them go this way. Okay, maybe if they're asking for this, and try to compartmentalize what it is that they're looking for help with, and do my best to return with an answer saying, well, here's the problem, here's a solution. They may not like the solution. I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I run into those arguments all the time with Dad too, he says, well, I don't want that. I'm like, well, but that's what you say you want, but I don't want that. Okay, well, what do you want then? I want something that does this. Okay, this does that. No, I don't want that. It's the only thing that does that, Dad, but I don't want that. Okay. I will invent a mythical product, Dad. I've had conversations with him, by the way, where he'll argue and argue and argue about something. And I said, Dad, do you want me to call Microsoft? I remember one time, it was the way that his files would save somewhere. I was like, yeah, but why does it do that? I don't want it to do that. I want it to do something else. I'm like, it won't do something else. Yeah, but why? I'm like, I don't know. Do you need me to get Microsoft on the line? We haven't talked to Dad in a while. Hey, why don't we do a little interlude and see if I can FaceTime him. See if he has any. Ooh, I only have 5% battery left. Yikes. Give me a second. We're going to surprise Dad here. I should probably have my iPad in here. Mobile FaceTime. Only 5% left, so we'll see. We're gonna pull it, Dad. We're gonna surprise him. Maybe. He may not be in range of why. I'm trying, guys. Just totally, like, surprising him. And I really think if my vlogs start working, the Pirillogs, I think Dad should be the next. Dad should start vlogging. Everyone's doing it. And it's not. Sorry guys, I tried. I tried. You guys didn't want it enough, apparently. I tried. Maybe tomorrow we'll have to plan. Could we plan for it? Maybe pulling Dad in. He might like that. We all might like it. So that's pretty much all we had to cover for from LockerGnome.com. Thanks again for looking at the links, reading along with us, knowing that there's a lot of good intelligence shared there every day. We have some questions. Any questions? Any conversation? Chris Smith leaves modding to the moderators. Oh, yeah. PG. Oh, Vista. He said Vista. You're not. Hey, I said Vista. If someone was to ask me what they should use, I'd probably say get a notebook in Windows 7 90% of the time, says David O. the Great there on YouTube. iPad needs no skill. That is true. I love my computer too. Pirillo family blogs. Yes, the vlogs, the vlogging. So what else? Before we curve out here, I've got two things going on tonight. I got an interview with Seth David and Gnomie, and then before then at live.pirillo.com we have a conversation that's going to be focused on possibly building a company, a business together. So if you want more information on that, if you are interested in possibly building a business with me, that's what we're going to be talking about at live.pirillo.com with my fellow Gnomies. So looks like SkyDrive got an update, released a Mac app, and it updated the iOS app. That's nice. Let's see, what do we have for the SkyDrive stuff here? Let me see the specs, because that's interesting. Nothing? Really, it's just an update. That's really... New storage options, apps that connect your devices to SkyDrive, and a more powerful device cloud that lets you fetch any files from a Windows PC. That's interesting. Fetching files through skydrive.com. Okay, and the apps are available now. You can get up to 2 gigabytes for free, it looks like. Almost as good as Dropbox, seemingly. And there's different apps for different OSs, which I'll have to try. Although we're using Dropbox pretty well. Oh, wait, 7 gigabytes free for all new SkyDrive users. So what about all old SkyDrive users? Any registers? Boy, they just made this convoluted. Oh, you get to keep 25 gigs of free storage while still getting the benefits of the new service. This is convoluted. Come on, Microsoft, can you make this a little more difficult for us to understand? Bottom line, I guess SkyDrive's got some upgrades. Check it out. It's a way to store files in the cloud and get them from the cloud. I'm a big Dropbox fan. SkyDrive, we'll give it a shot, see how well it works. I'm all about backing up and having multiple points of backup. I have no problem with doing that. Let's see here. Looking what else. Nothing else that's popping out at me in terms of the tech headlines so much. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything. You seeing anything, honey? You're not even looking, are you? That's okay. It's quite all right. Google Drive. Well, Google Drive may be coming out soon. No one's really seen it yet that I know of. Did we already do a Gnomie in the Word of the Day? No, we did not. Honey, do the honors. Chris Smith. And you can't see it. She does it with like that. She puts her arm in the air as if I'm the only one who can see you right now, honey. Just so you know.
And the word of the day.
And the word of the day is
Fiji.
Fiji. Why is it Fiji?
Because Fiji water is delicious. Congrats.
Thank you. Convoluted scuttlebunk. I love that. That's funny. That's a good word. Scuttlebunk is a good word too. I like that. Are you okay, honey?
Yeah, did I say Craig Smith?
No, you said Chris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I remember thinking it's me, and then you didn't give it to me. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in. We're kind of in the middle of a retool for TLDR. We still are going to be going live. Don't know how it's going to be, how it's going to play out, but it may be more integrated with questions, answers, conversation, and of course coverage of what we're sharing on lockergnome.com for that day. So please stick with us. Thank you for liking, for subscribing, not just to the YouTube channel, but everywhere else on social media, as well as the Locker Gnome email newsletter. Thank you, by the way, for the vlog love. I mean, it's been a lot of love. If I go here to Video Manager, I got to show you guys. This is just, if you haven't seen this yet, it seriously, it blows me away. If I go here, it's look at that. Now the views are of course behind, but look at that. So rarely do we ever upload a video that at the time it's getting more likes than it does views. That's insane. Very rarely does that happen. So we're going to be doing a different Pirillo every day. That's probably going to have nothing to do with technology. And then, of course, we're going to have technology talk and topics as we do for TLDR, the Locker Gnome Daily Report, also short for Too Long Didn't Read. But we hope you did read. We hope you enjoyed your time and certainly do appreciate your support wherever you can give it. Conversation will continue in just a few minutes over in the chat room. That's part of another live video feed over. You can't really see it. It's over there. I'm showing you the extreme whiteness of my arm and my armpits. Ooh. Look at that. Look at pit stains. You see that? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Great. There's something I don't show in my vlog. That would be embarrassing. So you're more than welcome to join us, where the conversation will continue 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, at live.pirillo.com. Well,